All right, once again, Alberta Beatdown 2. We're in the losers bracket finals. PvP, RevSaroVati versus Dime. And this is going to be game 2 here on Zellnager Caverns. We're at the OverKlocked Gaming and Computers LAN Center in Edmonton, Alberta. Tournament being put on by Edmonton Gamers. Check them out at edmontongamers.com. And here we're here in game 2. We've got Dime, the green Protoss. He's going to be in the top right position. And his opponent, RevSaroVati, is going to be the purple Protoss in the bottom left.
Something new has already happened is that RevSaroVati's put his pylon in a really weird place to start. Usually PvP and even PvP, you don't put a pylon anywhere near the front of in front of your ramp because it's so easy to snipe off, and you risk being an Artosis pylon and having all your tech unpowered, and that's really important, especially when 4-gate happens so frequently. There's lots of little micro battles, and it's really, really weird to have that this early. So we're going to have to see what RevSaroVati's reason for that is, and we're seeing a gateway come down for both players.
I think this might be another metagame thing. Because again, these guys are both teammates here, and this is definitely not something you see very much in PvP. RevSaroVati is going to be setting up what looks like is a wall in here. I think he's just legitimately expecting Dime to be very, very aggressive in the early game here.
But I think the only reason to really do that is 2-gate, and he's scouting and he's seeing gas. So I really don't know why he's doing that. I can't infer anything from this play. Personally, I mean, it's really, really easy to snipe those pylons. So I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe we'll see something really cute. But we are getting... Oh, it looked like Dime was getting ready to steal the gas there. And we're just seeing both players scout. And again, we're not going to see anything really until first stalkers come out. But we've just seen everything be delayed by RevSaroVati because he's put that pylon there. That's really, really weird. He got his gas a few food later. And we just got to see his reasoning behind that pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, so far he's just essentially forfeited any potential advantage that he could have had. He's a few seconds behind in pretty much everything now. And both players are going to get a pretty even amount of scouting information so far. So I'm definitely curious to see what his plan is.
Yeah, he's also shown the second gas to Dime, and that's nothing you ever want to do in PvP. So he's getting the Zealot, and that's usually a sign of 4-gate. So I'm at a loss for words right now. It's kind of a weird game. We're seeing another gas scope for Dime, so we're going to see both players tech. I want to see Blink Stalker versus Blink Stalker. That's always really fun. Really, really, like, lots of action. But I got a feeling just early pylon's going to come into play later on.
So, Mr. Mitchell, who's cleverly sitting behind us, offering some insight, and I have to say I agree. He's using this pylon to deny high ground warp ins.
But what he's doing, though, if you put your gateways there, you don't allow your stalkers to sit there and poke at pylons for another area. And he's putting all of his tech right here at the wall. And we're seeing Dime with a probe here. He's going to be able to come up and he's like, I'm going to see your 3 gateways. He's not doing anything to hide it. And we're seeing the sentry, and that's usually typically when you're seeing Blink Stalker come out. But he's getting another one. So yeah, I'm fairly confident we're seeing Blink Stalker coming out of RevSaroVati.
Yeah, but Dime has thrown down a Stargate. Ooh. And that is
really cute.
Very, very interesting. Now, again, he's one game away from being knocked out of the tournament here. So I hope whatever plan he has, he's got it very well laid out. Because I know with Stargate play, I mean, if you go for things like Phoenixes, if you make one small mistake in when and how you graviton beam things with Phoenixes, or what angle you attack him with some Void Rays, and the game can be over just like that. So it's going to be it's going to be absolutely crucial that he makes all of the correct decisions with these Phoenixes.
Yeah, we're also going to have to, and they are Phoenix. I was about to say we need to find out what he's going to go with the Stargate first. We are seeing Blink pretty quick, I think. We're seeing 250 gas. That's a lot of gas. Oh yeah, there's Blink. I was going to say Dark Tempo was a possibility. And we do see a probe for RevSaroVati coming around the back just to get another warp in. Poke with the Stalker, and it gets sniped. That's really big.
Very nice job there by Dime. That Stalker did have the opportunity to scout out a Stargate. He was not able to do so, thanks to just really good reactions by Dime. He cannot let RevSaroVati catch wind of the fact that there are Phoenixes on the way. As if you see that there are Phoenixes are on the way, and you have the opportunity to react to it. I mean, Phoenixes, they're only good in this matchup when you hit a decent number of them. You can't get too many because once they start to get countered, they're essentially they can become just dead weight in your army. But you get 3, 4, 5 of them, you can use them to essentially take your opponent's army out of position or out of the fight,
So
and
really,
then just take everything else down.
really important to note, we see the Blink Stalkers coming out, and we see the 3 Phoenixes. Now, usually the typical thing to do when you scout Phoenixes is expand. And we're seeing a Photon Cannon come up in the mineral line of Dime. And I think that's because he's wary of Dark Templar. But the Blink Stalkers are going to blink up and just... Oh, never mind. There's a lot of Zealots on the ramp. So it's going to be how RevSaroVati handles it. Is he going to like just poke? Is Dime... How's he going to force field? We're going to have to see what's going on. But here we have the first Phoenixes coming in the mineral line. And they have a few opportunities to kill a few probes. And the cool thing is that if RevSaroVati wants to be aggressive like he's trying to be, he has to warp in at the pylon. He can't really afford to warp back in his base, and he has his own forge walling him in, and that's really cute. So we have to see where we go from here.
Yeah, it's a very interesting decision. Dime had the opportunity to continue lifting up probes and killing them off. He realizes there are stalkers blinking in his base, chooses to save the energy, and now the Phoenixes are going to come in just in the nick of time to hold this attack off. Excellent timing there by Dime, and now he's going to be able to pick off that attack, and that could have been absolutely devastating without those Phoenixes. Had he chosen to Graviton beam more of those probes and gotten rid of that energy, he may have lost the game right there.
Yeah, he's protected himself from Dark Templar. His mineral line is pretty secure. The only thing I'm worried about, he has a lot of Chrono Boost right now, and without Blink, or excuse me, with Blink, he's almost forced to go Stalker because of the Forge. He can't really move his units around. So the Phoenixes are going to be kind of bad and good at the same time. They're going to keep him in his base, but realistically, he can't leave his base because of the walling.
Yeah, he can only blink in and out of his base, and right now the army is definitely in favor of Dime. He has the opportunity to... He's got vision of the high ground. He's got the ability to lift key units out of the fight, and like we were saying earlier, throwing these buildings up at the bottom can work against your favor. You can see that only a very small amount of Stalkers is actually going to be able to return fire, now none of them. And this is really going to cut into the production of RevSaroVati. And he is going to have to rebuild this gateway, and things are not looking very good.
No, we see the Dark Shrine coming up, and that's really going to get like deflected fairly easily because it's cannon, and you might be able to poke at some buildings. You're seeing the gateway coming up, going up to 4 gateways. But the thing is, Dime's not expanding, and right now this is the one time in the game where he can expand, and he's not. And I think that's the wrong choice.
Now, RevSaroVati cannot afford to lose this Cybernetics core right now. If he loses Cybernetics core, then he's got no Stalkers, and then he just doesn't have a way to really deal with this army. I mean, the Blink Stalkers are going to be the only way that he wins this game, and the Cybernetics core is going to go down. His production has pretty much turned completely offline. Dime is free to do whatever he wants, and he is going to choose to throw down an expansion at his natural here. But the Dark Shrine is just about to finish, and that expansion could get sniped down by a few Dark Templars, since there aren't any Photon Cannons there quite yet.
Yeah,
and
I'm really surprised
scouted it out.
that he's transitioned out of this and not gotten a Robo. I think that I try to do, I'm not the best at doing it because I'm not very good, is trying to think, okay, Dime should be going through his head, how am I going to lose this? I've sniped all these buildings, I've sniped the Cybernetics core, I killed his army, I've expanded, how am I going to lose this game? And we're seeing it right now, the Dark Templar coming to the base, and with the one Photon Cannon, they can't do anything. He can just snipe at all these pylons, and there's nothing he can do about it. But he's going in and attacking the Photon Cannon with the Dark Templar. Is he going to snipe it? Here we go, probes are attacking the Dark Templar, and the cannon...
Oh, one more shot! And that could have been a dead Dime.
Up by the probes as well, and we're seeing another cannon go down, and I think that's game. I think Dime's going to take game 2.
Yeah, Dime, he could have lost that game if that Dark Templar got off one more shot. Then he could have thrown away, or he could have lost all of his economy and all of his tech. And RevSaroVati looking like he's just going to go for this Nexus. No, I think he is just going to try and run right by. Photon kind of here at the natural expansion, second and third going down in the main. Dime realizes how close he was to dying there. He's not going to let that happen again. Meanwhile, he's going to continue trying to shut down the production of RevSaroVati and punishing him for building his units so close to the edge of his main base.
So now we see the Robo coming down for Dime, and once the Observer gets out, the game's over. RevSaroVati had a timing, and you know what? He got really shitty luck. If he would have been able to snipe that Photon Cannon, the game's over. He's going to be able to just make sure he's staying on top of the cannons orbiting in, and the Dark Templar winning the game. But now Dime's just going to drop a couple Photon Cannons, but the next Dark Templar attacking the probes in the natural expansion. But the game, for the most part, is pretty much sealed, and Dime's going to take it.
Yeah, Dime trying to break down those destructible rocks there, but Now that there are a few zealots in the mix here in his main base, trying to do a little bit of harassment, decided it's time to come home and get this cleared up. Robotics facility just about done, and the Dark Templar getting a little bit too close to some of those photon cannons. But unfortunately, at this particular point in time, Dime doesn't quite have an answer for it. The Phoenix, or the Observer is on the way, and SaroVati's actually going to go for it now. He does have Blink. He's got a lot of Zealots, and if he manages to close the distance here and doesn't get too many of these units lifted up by these Phoenixes, get great force fields there, really slowing down SaroVati.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Observer pop out, and he's lost the one advantage he had, and that was the Dark Templar. He's going to get sniped out. Really good force fields by SaroVati, and he's going to have a chance to snipe at this Nexus, but realistically, he's mined out of his base. He doesn't have money for a Nexus. And
that blink just did not work out for him. He wanted to blink forward to maybe pick off a few of those Phoenixes, but he just couldn't do it, and now these Zealots are going to get chased around. So it looks like he right-clicked a few of those Stalkers. And they will be able to close the distance, but Dime just has way too much stuff. Now the Phoenixes are going to let go of the Stalkers, and they're going to immediately switch over to the Zealots, which have been causing a little bit of trouble to his army. But now that he's cleaned up those Zealots, he's going to be able to deal with the rest of this army, secure his natural expansion, and what I would expect to be a victory under his belt.
Sir, we move on to Game 3 in the Losers Bracket Finals to see who's going to play Check 6's Mech Engine. You see 4 Dark Templar warped in, and I don't see an Observer anywhere.
It's
never mind,
just a
there it
little bit
is.
farther back. He's going to get a clean shot pretty easily. And I think once this happens,
He's going to tap out. Oh, we see a Nexus coming out for SaroVati. He's going to try to drag this on.
Oh, the Phoenixes. I think they saw the pylon. Yeah, he saw the pylon. Will he actually respond to it? Yes, he will. He's going to see that Dark Shrine. If he takes that Dark Shrine out, then that is just another notch on his gun. It's going to be even harder for SaroVati to get back into this game. He's going to try to transfer some probes across the map here as his main's just about mined out. And this is beyond a desperation attempt by SaroVati at this point.
Yeah, he's canceled the Nexus. And he's warped in a few more Stalkers, but Blink Micro can only do so much, and when your opponent has Blink as well... Oh, he does not have Blink, excuse me. But, I mean, 6 Blink Stalkers can't kill that much.
Yeah, and Dime's just going to walk in here with a ton of Stalkers and clean this out. The Phoenix is going to roll away with relative ease.
Oh,
and SaroVati desperately trying to distance mine this natural expansion. Now
But realistically, what's he
completely out of position.
He's just going to walk up the ramp and kill him now. He's doing a really good job, and he's keeping him back for a little bit, but now here we go. Stalkers of Dime are moving up into the main, sniping the probes, and SaroVati should be tapping out anytime soon. We'll move on to Game 3.
Yeah, with all these probes down there, there's really just no way SaroVati's going to be able to win this game. Cannon's going to do a little bit of damage. SaroVati going to try to go for a base trade, but there's just so much stuff for Dime right now. Supply count 70, 25, and Dime is just absolutely steaming this game.
Yeah, worthy effort, good try, but really it all came down to the probe stopping the Dark Templar from killing that one photon cannon, and it really shows you how fickle PvP is. One little building, one Nexus swipe of the Dark Templar, and the game's different.
Yeah, SaroVati gonna try and go for the base trade here. Not a lot of probes in the main base, so he might. It's going to be a pretty tall order if he can throw down a... No, he only has 5 minerals, so... It's going to be one hell of a race.
I think he's really just kind of going over his head what's kind of gone on. Maybe try to psych him out. He's like, why hasn't he left the game yet? But there's a force field and...
Can't quite blink past it. No. And that is really all Dime. That, like, he could have base raced. It would have been... kind of like a go-kart racing Formula 1, but you never know. It's a Formula 1 break.
I'm kind of confused why he's still playing this out.
I think at this point, he must be just trying to psych out Dime, making Dime wait until the absolute last minute, kill every last one of my buildings if you want your victory, to go into Game 3 a little bit more worn down. And the last building, there's the GG. The score screen.